Welcome to Parsha Coach. We're so excited to be back, and it's Erev Shabbos, so snood. She's ready already? Okay, here we go. This week's Parsha, Shelach, we talk about the Meraglim, the spies. They went out to check the land. And it's interesting, 12 people went out to check out Eretz Yisrael, and we got two different pieces of information. 10 said terrible things of the land, and 2 said amazing things of the land. So how is it possible that 2 people in general could go through the same exact experience and get something else out of it, or experience something else out of it? Has it ever happened in your life that you and somebody, go to something or hear something and you totally hear 2 separate stuff? So how is it possible that this happened?
So we wanted to talk about the concept, and we have a little bit different ways of explaining this concept. So I'm going to start with the way that I understand how this works. And I call it separate realities, or separate perspectives. I feel like reality is a stronger way of explaining it, because it's really about what the reality you make of any situation. Whether it can be the way you see something, the way you experience something, the way you hear something. So when somebody, if you have 2 people going to the same place, or listening to the same speech, or whatever it could be, it happens very easily that one person has one way of understanding or hearing it or accepting it or experiencing it, and the other one has a completely different one. Like what Faigy said with the Meraglim, and how 2 people could have a totally different experience when they went to exactly the same place and saw exactly the same thing. So the way that it's helpful for us is that understanding and that knowing that we each experience our world in our own way. It's like a thumbprint. Every person's fingerprint is different, is unique. Every person's reality of life is unique, and knowing that every single person is experiencing their reality differently is just helpful in being understanding.
So the whole concept of like you were saying, that we have our own inner world. So I love it. For example, if somebody criticizes me or does something hurtful to me, what I like to do now, and I just learned about it this past week and I'm excited, is to just think, okay, what is their inner world? What is their childhood like? What has their past experiences been that they're criticizing me for what I did? And then I can choose, they're just hurt because they've been hurt a lot in this way and they're putting it on me, and then I could be like, I could choose to apologize and realize they're just hurting, or I could say, wow, you know what, they're right, and there's something in with me. And so too, I feel like we live in a generation of people pleasing. We always want to please people. Being well liked is one of the norms that we want. But to realize that people like us is more to do with them, more to do with their inner world than who we are. And this way we're much more free to love ourselves and be the best we can be, and versus being independent on others.
So I just want to give you guys a challenge for the week, and please comment about how that goes, or how you've seen this in your lives and with other people. And I want you to just look into it a bit and see, if you can see with your spouse or with a friend or with any situation that comes up where you don't see eye to eye with someone, or you're experiencing something different, or you just say you said something to someone and you meant it in a very nice, sweet way, and they took it in such a hard, difficult, insulting way, and then just sort of stop a second and be like, wait, let me understand this idea. We have totally different realities. We have different inner worlds, realities. We are seeing things or hearing things or understanding things different. Let's see how that understanding is going to be helpful for me in this situation. And also with yourself, that like with what you were saying about the way that you see yourself, and worrying about what other people will think. This is your reality of who you are, and this is your reality of how you want to act and how you want to be. So when you find yourself thinking about, well, what is everyone else going to think? That's their reality. That's their inner world. That's how they're going to see it no matter what.
And no, I love it. I just remembered a crazy story that just happened this past week. My husband and I had a meeting with somebody, and it was an hour long, and at the end of the meeting I was like so thankful to the person. I was like, this is so eye-opening, this was amazing, we have so many new ideas, so much new direction. And I told him this was an amazing meeting, and at the end he's like, oh my gosh, this was the biggest waste of time ever. He's like, you were talking a whole time and the other person was just listening. And then I was thinking wow, I was talking, and perhaps me just processing things made me at peace, and through that we got direction. So it's not like even the other person really gave the ideas, but more like I needed to process, and then I had such clarity. So the concept of like, wow, there was such different. I was just repeating what I told to my husband, but I needed to say it again and again and again until I was at peace with it in my inner world. But my husband was always at peace with it, so he was like, what's going on? So that's a story that just happened this week, and it's crazy. It just fits straight into the Parsha. Thank you so much for listening. We love when you comment, and have an amazing Shabbos.
Yes, please comment below about your experiences with this understanding.
Awesome.
Have a good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.